Loneliness. It's the silent epidemic that's taken over the world. I won't even ask you if you're lonely because most of the people affected by this don't even realize what they're suffering. Let's wade into this dark, mysterious, deep world of loneliness. Loneliness. Let's understand what loneliness is, why it's a common human experience. Loneliness isn't just about physical isolation, it's a feeling of disconnection, where one may yearn for meaningful connections and companionships. There are many types of loneliness, but broadly, there are three. One is an emotional loneliness, it's the absence of a meaningful relationships in life. The one which is a new one and it's here to stay is social loneliness. It's a perceived deficit in the quality of social connections. Remember, social connections have moved from physically connecting with each other to social media. And this is pretty big cause of loneliness, especially in younger people who feel left out in their Instagram groups or any of those other social media. There is existential loneliness, a feeling of fundamental separateness from others and the wider world. There are various factors that contribute to loneliness, from major life changes and social anxiety to the impact of technology on our social interactions. Understanding the root causes can help us address and cope with loneliness more effectively. Some of the obvious ones which I have seen around me are loneliness caused because of, say, experiencing the death of someone, a loved one, could be a mother, parent, partner, or going through a relationship breakup in young people. Retirement in older people. Don't underestimate, it can cause a lot of loneliness because you suddenly are weaned away from your place of work, which gave you a lot of importance and respect. Suddenly, you're out because you're of a certain age. Changing jobs, interestingly, can also cause loneliness. You're suddenly moved to taken an option to move into a new job, a new company. It it can be a little scary initially when you feel very alone. You don't have your friends, you don't have your ecosystem. To make things worse, if you are moved to a new location, it makes it very, very difficult. It's important to be aware of all this because you need to be mentally aware that these are situations that can cause you to feel lonely and then lead to depression. Young people starting at higher education into a different city, different country can initially go through this phase. And I've seen many kids really struggling to cope with a strange culture uh, and really, really struggle till they make friends. People experiencing mental health issues can feel very, very different from the rest of the world, feel very isolated. they don't understand the world and what it does and can't rationalize that. I also found people who have just become a parent the first time, they can experience loneliness. The father mostly, but also the mother. Knowing all these causes and many more is very important. As you get into those situations, awareness is one of your biggest tool to fight loneliness. I can never forget the story of what happened to one of my favorite Hollywood stars, Robin Williams, a wonderful actor. A lot of roles he played brought a lot of humor and drama into those scenes. As something really, really drastic, you look for reasons. And in his case, there were no reasons. But he ended his life. Don't take loneliness as something very, very natural. It can lead to depression. It can lead to severe depression in many cases and lead to mental health issues. And in some of the cases where it just gets out of hand, there is a desire to end the life. Many of the feelings that can be linked with loneliness, such as disconnection from social networks, feelings of social isolation, feeling like a burden, are often cited in research as factors that increase a person's desire to take their own life. I read somewhere that in the US, almost 10% of the deaths which happen, or the leading cause of death, is suicides. This is far ahead of deaths due to homicide and deaths due to HIV. There are many ways to cope with loneliness, but one of the most commonly recommended ways to reach out to the world. Try and engage in hobbies which will actually allow you to meet like-minded people. So if you like music, go to places where they share music. You meet fellow musicians who are in similar situation as yours. It helps create relationships which are based on mutual interest. If nothing else, go out and go to the grocery shop, go to the local market, okay, avoid online buying, go there, meet people, talk to people. They are complete strangers, there is no threat. Engage in a discussion and talk to them. One of the things I found very, very helpful when you are battling loneliness is to start being genuinely interested in others. One of the problems when you are lonely and you are invited to a party and somehow you force yourself to go, when you get in there, you spend all your time trying to figure out how to be interesting. No, don't. Just spend all your time in being interested in others. Just look around and see how you can help them. It gets your mind off all your other insecurities and it gets you focused on doing things which really make sense to you. Stay focused on that. Do the small things. Don't need to do any big stuff. Go take every opportunity to talk to people. Even social media is fine, but I would still recommend go personally and meet people. If you feel these, none of these are working, and you still feel desolate and down over a period of time, I insist that you speak to an expert, to a therapist, to a coach, speak to your mentor, speak to somebody you trust. And I know that in these situations it's not the elders in the family but outsiders. So talk to people who you trust, who are professionals, but do get help. Remember, while I talked about loneliness quite a bit, this is different from wanting to be alone at times. Loneliness in that case isn't negative. It's an opportunity to do a little bit of self discovery, be alone, to have your own alone time. It's when you want to just, get under a blanket and read a warm book and a coffee at your side or meditate alone. Those are different. The way to know the difference is how do you feel after that? After you spend that time alone with yourself, if you're feeling relaxed and happier, then that's the right kind of being alone. But constantly this feeling of depression if is happening, then that's a problem. The reason I spent today's episode on this is it's a big epidemic out there. I know everybody is suffering. Families are getting nuclear and single people, husband, wives are sometimes working in different cities. Children grow up and then study in different cities. So, and with social networks, it's instead of getting people closer, it somehow brought people away. Watch out for the signs. Watch out for the situations that cause loneliness. Biggest thing, two takeaways which I want you to take today. Every opportunity that you get to meet people, and it does not have to be in big events and stuff. Just go to your local store, market, do your whatever you buy for the week, meet people, talk, say hello to them. Like I said, you can join some hobby groups and meet people, but get to know and be in touch with other human beings. Second, be always interested in how you can help others. Find ways to go out of your way to help people. You don't have to be interesting and try to be interesting all the time. Instead, be interested in others. And finally, once you recognize that it's nothing works, please rush and seek professional help. It's an illness. It has a cure. It can be fixed. As we wrap up today's episode, remember you're not alone. If you need to connect with me, I'm leaving my email ID below. Feel free to write to me with your thoughts. And also that you are not the only one who is going through this. We could actually foster a community of support by writing in the comment section below. Write your thoughts, your own personal experiences. If you have any other tips and ideas about how to overcome loneliness, this could be useful to all of us as a community. And of course, yes, please do like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell below so that you get alerted on any future videos that get released. Till the time we talk next time, stay well and stay unstoppable.